Chapter 5, The Electric Dawn. The final clash for the global grid reached its boiling point in the bleeding heart of the old Empire. They clung to the primal fury of combustion, ready to detonate their own lines before surrendering the remnants of their gravity-built monopoly. Gauge the bedrock. Let the current flow through their very foundations, turning iron into liquid slag. Ground shock activated. 1,000,000 volts released directly through the frozen earth to shatter their heavy line. Direct overload. The current bypassed their lead shielding, backlashing into the steam boilers and turning their pride into self-detonating cages. The arsenal collapsed. The invisible shield of current paralyzed their defenses, turning advanced iron into useless junk. Even their heaviest relics were helpless against a current that traveled through the bedrock. The automated empire had run out of air to breathe. The air harbingers closing in, the United Alliance advanced to claim absolute liberation, erasing the legacy of pollution from the clouds.
The lines have snapped. The pressure is gone. The central reactor is dead. May the old gods forgive our failure.
The Citadel has fallen. The final stronghold of the old regime crumbled under the weight of its own obsolete legacy. The age of combustion had reached its final blackout. Forced into total submission, the old world signed the global disarmament decree. The transition was total. The weapons of extinction were dismantled, and the energy of the world was rewired for peace. When the sun broke through the fallout, the world had survived. The chapter of the Steampunk saga concludes. A cold peace maintained by current. But beneath the grid, a new frequency was waiting to vibrate.
But science never sleeps. Beyond the boundaries of electricity, the blueprints for an entirely new force were already taking root.
A power that did not move through cables and did not burn mass. A power that existed across space itself. The age of current was reaching its twilight. The quantum dawn was waiting to rewrite reality. The countdown to global deployment was initiated. The ultimate machine operating on pure anti-gravitational energy. The first saga of energy concludes. Which dimension will open next? Deep within the closed cities of the Ocean Sanctuary, the Genesis Protocol had been activated, hiding the ultimate power from the eyes of the grid.
The countdown was universal, the final experiment to determine who would hold the keys to absolute mastery over space and time.
A tempest was brewing, but the real storm was manufactured inside the chrome hull. System is core stable, a new frequency born on Earth, rewriting the rules of physics in a single second. When the dust settled, the quantum vanguard deployed its fleet, ready to enforce a new global order. The frontier was open, and in the east, the news of the quantum sun triggered an icy panic. Their electrical networks were useless against the They dug deep into forbidden archives, unlocking an ancient chemical fuel that could insulate their cores against the displacement storm. The race for survival was re-accelerated. The old gods of current were weaponizing chemistry to fight the power of the quantum core. The chemical shield was raised. A wall of pure pollution designed to isolate the eastern grid from the quantum eye of the west. Quantum infantry advanced through the dead zones, their armor insulated against the invisible displacement left by the Genesis device. But the dead zones were not empty. Through the displacement fog, the eastern counterstrike was already waiting.
Total collision. The power of the displacement core crashing against the unyielding wall of chemical defiance.
My weapon is corroded. The chemical mist is dissolving the quantum fuel rods. Fall back! Fall back!
The quantum vanguard was pushed back. The chemical hunters reclaimed the dead zone, enforcing a new blackout.
The entire sector is blinded. We have lost the signal of Platoon 7. The chemical interference is absolute.
Quantum launch. The West answered with absolute fire, vaporizing the chemical stronghold in a single blinding second.
They think their displacement make them kings.
But they forgot that the Earth belongs to the elements. Release the secondary reserves.
If they want total war, then we will poison the sky until their new sun goes dark forever.
The sky was poisoned. The chemical armada launched its final deterrent, preparing to choke the quantum eyes of the West. When the sun broke through the fallout, nothing remained but a landscape of displacement glass and chemical ash. The quantum frontier ended not in victory, but in a divided world. A cold peace maintained by the fear of absolute, global extinction. The interception was live. The Eastern remnants deployed their fastest tactical aircraft to breach the Western airspace grid.
Flood the secondary combustion pipes. Push the speed past the absolute line of structural tolerance.
Barrier breached. The chemical vanguard pierced the invulnerable Western shield with raw, mechanical force. A catastrophic strike. The Western surveillance node was erased in a single blinding instant of toxic combustion. When the smoke cleared, the frontier was compromised. The lines of current had snapped, leaving the Western capital exposed to the incoming shadow. The final sequence was initiated not in the clouds, but in the buried veins of the capital. The lightning core was pulse-ready. Ground shock activated. 1,000,000 volts released directly through the frozen bedrock, frying the old weapons of extinction in a single instant. The legacy of gravity exploded. The capital was rewired from the inside out, reclaiming ownership of the global grid. Berlin was liberated. The dark blackout of the nuclear frontier was broken, and the current of the new world expanded across the borders.